insert generic eating here, and welcome to yet another candy tasting video. Today I'm joined by... They smell a bit industrial.
For me this is easily like a 7 out of 10. 7. 3 out of 10.
It's something I would definitely snack at home.
Yeah. Today's a special day, which is also why my couch is full of dogs today. Hi, I'm Lemon, and for the past 12 months, I filmed about 50 YouTube videos where I try snacks and candy from other cultures together with people who do pub play. And I kind of wanted to film an introductory video where I sort of explain why I'm doing that, like the purpose of this whole series, and just have something to first watch before you start watching these videos. Now here's the thing. About 2.5 years ago, in the summer of 2022, I had no idea what pub play is. It's not really a topic I ever got into contact with much, which also had to do with the fact that I was never going to pride parades and all of that, and then everything changed. Back in 2022, I was doing a lot of activism on several subjects when it came to discrimination, and I also did a lot of queer activism, a lot of explaining of certain topics and things like that. And around the same time, there were a lot of people in Germany that were content creators, queer content creators to be specific, that tried to exclude people who do pub play from pride parades, with often kind of the explanation that it would be adult content and you would have to protect the kids. And first of all, a pride parade is a political thing, actually. It's a political demonstration for our rights. So if children should be there or not is a different debate to be had. But regardless though, wearing this isn't inherently adult activity, actually. There's a lot of different types of roleplay that people engage in. Like, for example, cosplay, where people portray anime characters or characters from cartoons, from TV shows, whatever. There's, at least in Europe, very popular middle-age roleplay, where people literally dress up as knights and stuff like that, and go into fairs and castles and things. And in the same way, this is some sort of roleplay. Now, it's definitely practiced differently by different people. And it is important to call out that originally, pub play did come from BDSM. However, especially in Germany, it developed into a very social subculture. You can also find that all across the globe, but especially in Germany, it's very, very big. There's a lot of monthly meetups. Where I live, there's 6 or 7 monthly meetups in the radius of an hour, which I'm very privileged with that. There's parties, there's obviously the walking groups at pride parades and stuff like that. And then there's also specifically adult events, but that's a different topic. It doesn't have to exclusively be an adult topic. It can be 100% social, which it is to many. When I first saw big queer influencers and content creators being like, oh, these people need to stay away from pride. That's literally against the point of pride. Because pride should be the one day where we can be ourselves, our authentic selves as queer people. And if this is part of your queer identity, you should be able to also show that. Which, don't get me wrong, no adult activity should ever happen at pride parades. But wearing this is not adult activity. And I actually made a queer documentary, which some of you might have seen. It only came out a year later, but the original idea was to talk to people who do pub play and basically do a documentary on that. But it was very hard to find people willing to speak to a camera, especially because nobody knew me in the community. So I actually produced a queer documentary instead, where I had 2 pub players talking about it. And Oreo, the one that was Pub Germany at that point, actually did a great job explaining things. And afterwards, I was kind of in a weird space in the community, because I was now in these chat groups, and I was technically this is a safe space that I shouldn't be in, because I'm not seeing myself here. I'm not seeing myself as somebody who is ever gonna get into it, but I'm now here. And I was debating with myself for a while if I want to stay or not. And it was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of getting inactive and active again. But I basically was in the community for a very long time. And then early 2023, so over half a year in the community, I had the idea to actually film my candy tasting videos that I did for years already with pups to give them more of a neutral space for representation. But I talked about it in some of the groups, and back then I wasn't really known much in the community. The only people that reached out to me were people that I really didn't want to work with. I am aware that some people might see this now and be like, oh, interesting. But like, I never worked with these people. I never hung out with the people that I didn't want to work with. So it's not that anybody should feel talked to, because the people that I really didn't want to work with aren't people that I'm ever talking to in any context whatsoever. But so I decided against it. And then over the summer of 2023, I started hanging out with pups, because that was when my documentary came out and I was handing out flyers for people to see the documentary. But whenever the parade was done and people were just hanging out in the streets, I just did hang out with pups and made pup friends. And then I got more into the community. And that developed into more and more active participation? Being active in the community. I don't know. I can't say that word. That's interesting. I don't think I ever had a word that I can't say in English. Funny. But then it was like late 2023, November to be exact. And I was like, I could try that thing with the videos again now that I know more people. And that's when the first people reached out to me that I did want to work with. And ever since then, it blossomed into something big. Now, there were a few videos I filmed first, and then I had like a big period where I was moving apartments. So 5 videos, I think, with pups are already on my channel. And then I went into this big break where I didn't upload anything. But I kept filming them, and I kept filming more and more. And it escalated at certain points. Like, for example, what you see back here is a video that I filmed with 5 other pups. That was an amazing video. A side note, I also got into pup play eventually. I'll speak on that in a second for a bit. So I started in November, and then now it went on for a year, which is the point where I'm now stopping, because first of all, I'm running out of countries. Also, it was a massive investment in money and time and energy and all of that. And also, I now need to focus on releasing these videos. But I think this will do a good thing for the community, because again, like, the idea behind it is like, we have a very neutral concept. We have representation of pup play in a very neutral way, in a very social way, to show that it can be just social hangouts. Also, in that sense, it helps for destigmatizing the whole topic of pup play. Because again, it's just normal people wearing a dog mask, which you can argue if it really looks like dogs. There's different viewpoints on that. But like, you know, it's just regular people hanging out, having fun. So that was important showcase for me. And I tried to work with as many pups as I could, because at the same time, diversity is a very important topic. This is a community that mostly consists of men. That's just a thing. There's quite a few trans individuals in there. There's not a lot of women. There's not a lot of non-binary people. But even if you just have cis men, like with everyone dressing differently, with different body types and all of that, with different age groups, there's still that aspect of diversity. And I try to just showcase that the community is like pretty vibrant, and that it's not just one group of people that all dress the same and all have the same body type. Because sometimes when you look up pup play online, you can get that idea based on certain things. Like, there's a lot of superficialness in this community, and that's a problem. So I wanted to include as many different people as I could, just to showcase, hey, it's way more vibrant, and there's people of all shapes and expressions, I suppose. I don't know what I'm saying here. Regardless though, I worked with a ton of different pups over the course of time. I filmed more than 50 videos. I'm very glad with everything how it worked out, but I'm at a point where I need a break from filming these videos. There's still about 5 videos I have to film after filming this introductory part, but I'm mostly done actually at this point, and I felt like this was a good way to actually explain what I'm doing here. And also I have fancy hair right now, so this is the only part where you see me with my face out. Except I think there's 1 or 2 older videos where I didn't have a hood yet. I'm getting into that in a second. So besides the videos that are already online, there's some where you can see my face, but there's a lot where I just wear my pup hood, which I also have on in this picture. I'm not sure if I'm obstructing this with my face. I said pup play isn't for me for 1.5 years. From like summer of 2022 until the end of 2023. And then in November, I first started filming these videos. I did hang out with pups way more because of that, but also because of other reasons, because I had pup friends now. And also, I had a crush on several. And then something happened in my brain, and then I went to one of the monthly meetups, and somebody had a second hood that I tried on for one time, and then, well, I mean, this happened not too long after. I have to point out though, there's different ways of how people are living the whole pup play thing. There's a thing called headspace, which is usually how you describe going like full into that role play. I don't really have that. Like some people like literally run around on all fours and play with balls and all of that. Super fun thing if you want to do that. I'm not that. I get less verbal and I get more cuddly, but otherwise I'm pretty human as a pup. I'm pretty much the same person. Some people are not. It really depends. Some people will not speak to you at all when they have the hood on. And I think that's really cool. It's really cool that people portray that differently. Now, this aspect gets lost in these videos, obviously, because we all have to talk about the candy. But yeah, that's all I had to say on that. I hope you will enjoy the series. And feel free to give this video a like, I suppose, if you liked this introduction from me into the topic. With that being said, if you're looking forward to this series, feel free to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of the uploads. Also, put on the bell notifications so you will really not miss any of the uploads. And if you want to support this project financially, Patreon and Ko-fi are both in the description. With that being said, hopefully, see you when the videos drop. And until then, bye. I always want to have like these last 30 seconds so I can put in like the click on this and click on that, but then I'm like, I don't know what to do for 30 seconds though. I don't have anything to do. I don't know what this is. Bye.